like to start with a bit of a remark that is extremely kind of good to have the panelists that we have. They represent 4 completely different approaches to luxury and sustainability in Saudi, and it's almost kind of a living representation of what the Vision 2030 is trying to do. We have from rural Medina that is kind of high density, but as well KAFD, but then we go into something that is less dense like Aseer, but also Red Sea. So there are 4 different, completely different kind of projects, different approach, and what I would like to do is to invite each of you to try to explain what makes your project completely different and really a destination in this global vision of the 2030. So Martin, please.
Sure, thank you. Well, I'm sure most of you will have heard of Red Sea Global.
Hopefully.
But I think what people need to understand is that what sets us apart is the fact that we don't accept sustainability as a starting point or a finishing point. We want to go beyond that. What sets us apart is that we are setting new standards and goals in achieving what we call regenerative tourism. What does that mean? It means instead of just accepting that as we build assets, as we create destinations, that we try and reduce the minimum impact upon the environment. That's a given. What we try and do and are doing is actually to improve the environment, actually make it better, both from a physical and environmental standpoint, but from a social and economic point of view as well. And I think that's what sets us apart. We do that, of course, in a number of ways, some of which I'm sure we'll touch on as we go through. But I think that single factor is what sets us apart, makes it different. So don't accept sustainability as the minimum, the absolute minimum. We must go much further beyond that.
No, thank you, Lord. And I think it's very interesting, this concept of some sort of kind of architecture or master plan or project as a kind of healing factor for the terrain and the regions where they are. So it's very interesting, and hopefully we'll discuss later.
Sure.
Dr. Francesca, so please can you introduce a bit?
Yes, you can call me Francesca. In Aseer, in ASDA, we are the regional authority, meaning we are the regional government. We're not developers. Our role is to steer the development toward the direction we're setting through our planning. Aseer is really different. I think everybody knows it, but I will tell you, it's an incredibly diverse region. I think we are the greenest place in Saudi Arabia. When I show around picture of Aseer in Europe or in the world, nobody can believe that's Saudi Arabia. We have forest, we have terraced agriculture, and this is our main asset. We are already a touristic destination, but due to the weather, it's mainly concentrated in the summer. So our strategy is focusing on tourism to extend the offering across the year, all year round. We want to elevate the quality of our offer. We're not targeting a very and super high-end market. We are aiming to be sustainable, even on the financial point of view, but of course we need to avoid over-tourism. The diversity we have is not only landscape, it's also cultural. We have 6 architectural identities. We are the region with most identities which are trying to implement to our plans, and this is our nature and the offer we're trying to build. We will discuss later.
Thank you, Francesca. Alberto, a bit about KAFD.
Yeah, thank you, Ignacio. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for having us. KAFD, the King Abdullah Financial District. I'm sure most of you who've been to Riyadh are familiar with the projects. It's something that everyone talks about. The very famous 15-minute city. We are actually built one, and we're building one and fine-tuning one and expanding one and creating on what we have already. And one of the amazing sort of sustainable aspects of the projects that we defined is, for instance, how obviously we have a very accessible public realm, pedestrian alleys and ways that connects all the different mixed-use developments that we created. And we also organize all the outdoor space in the existing development that most of you, I hope you're familiar with, on 3 different levels. So obviously there's the road level, we call that the level 0, and then all the pedestrian area, which is the wadi, which connects everything. So the beauty of KAFD is actually, it is a neighborhood where you can reach and access everything you need on a daily, weekly basis on foot, is at -5. So this slightly depression in the landscape guarantees that there's most of the time the area is shaded, and the wind is also channeled in a way that provides an improvement on especially in the summer days by reducing the overall temperature of about 5 degrees from what is the temperature level 0. In addition, we have another level, the +5, which is a semi-public space which is included within all of the assets, connected by the sky bridges, that allow you also to walk when it's very hot or when it rains, that you can go and connect across all the buildings and access most of the facilities, offices or residences as you see fit. So in that sense, I think we're quite unique, and it's an experiment which has been sort of very successful, and we look forward to see it growing in the future.
Thank you, Alberto. Saeed, please, about Rural Al Madinah.
Yeah, Rural Madinah, for the people who don't know the details of Rural Madinah is a master developer for about 1.5 million square meter. It's an extension of Al Haram Plaza, so it gives us even more responsibility due to the sensitivity of the location and being directed to Haram Plaza itself. ROA is developing the largest hospitality project in the world as of now, with a mandate of about 47,000 keys, together with the retail and also the branded residence. As we heard today, branded residence is one of the great products being fostered a little more and more in Saudi as well. Especially in this good location and with foreign investment regulations that is being studied in the cabinet. So as of now, we are already in the infrastructure construction. We are advanced in the infrastructure construction with the deep excavations and the utility culverts, and in the same time we are working in the superstructure. As we speak, we are developing 20,000 keys at different stages, 5,000 already in the market for tendering, already tendered in the market, and another 14,000 under design in different stages between detailed design and the concept. And sustainability, of course, is one of our pillars, and we are working sustainability with a high ambitious. And just to let you know, we already had a certificate of Platinum Mustadam. This is the highest rate of Platinum Mustadam that shows the commitment of the company on the master plan.
Yes.
And then we are working now in the projects for the other certification.
Oh, thank you, Saeed. Now, this is what I would like to invite now is to talk a bit about some of the aspects that always come forgotten about sustainability. The 3 pillars of sustainability, talking about the environmental, or social and economic, and sometimes, or normally, people get kind of the impression that the only one that kind of really matters is environment, but I think equally, and especially in Saudi, aligning to the Vision 2030 is the social, about people, and we were discussing before about people, and the second is about economic, like is the projects are going to be viable.
Sure.
So please, Martin, if you can.
Sure. Well, let me revisit what I was saying earlier about regenerative tourism. Yes, of course, as Red Sea Global, encompassing both Red Sea and Amala projects, we have invested hugely in ensuring that the environmental protection, the planet piece, is well protected and preserved. We have the world's largest solar farm with 750,000 solar panels with the largest battery installation. This allows us to power with renewables both all of Amala and all of Red Sea projects, night and day. But that's a planet thing.
That is.
Clearly, we have some of the most pristine, beautiful coastline that anyone would have seen in the world. And it's our duty to preserve and protect that. And of course, that's what we're doing. We have over 1 million square metre of nursery where we are growing, enhancing and protecting the existing vegetation and habitat by supplementing it with new mangrove planting, new seagrass planting. And it goes without saying that the corals that we have are some of the most unique coral formations and reefs in the world. So it would be easy just to say we're going to protect them. That's simply not enough as part of regenerative tourism. We need to go beyond that. So we are, with our partners at KAFD, looking at ways of preserving, protecting, and also growing and culturing new forms of coral. And that technology, that advancement that we're making here, is something that will not only benefit the coral growth, the reefs within our region, but worldwide. Now that sort of technology, that sort of impact has global reach. And I think that's part of what we see as our commitment to regenerative tourism. But also at another level, we're creating 120,000 jobs. These are for the people that we all heard of this morning, the 70% of the country who are under 30 years old. We're giving careers, futures, training, official training in hospitality as part of the development program. 120 new jobs, with 10,000 people trained by the year 2030. So that balance of both protecting the planet and making a commitment to the social economic benefits of regenerative tourism is what Red Sea Global is all about.
No, thank you, Martin.
I like it. One of the things I believe you're doing as well, you're also creating your own hospitality brand as well, right? So that's another way to promote and
absolutely.
Grow local talent.
I would urge people, I mean, Red Sea Global is open. We're open for business. We have 4 resorts already open this year, 1 more opening by the end of this year, Desert Rock, our inland resort, with ambitious plans. Our momentum that we have built up over the last few years for the next years is about scale. So we're going to be opening 8 new resorts at Amala next year and 11 resorts on our main Shura Island next year also. So you're going to see a lot more of sustainable regenerative tourism. But with a cap, we have decided that there'll be a cap of no more than 1 million tourists to Red Sea and 500,000 to Amala. And that is learning lessons from what's happened elsewhere in the world, where you open the doors and the actual tourism itself starts to degrade and degenerate the very thing you're trying to protect. So that's an important cap that should also help to achieve a level of regenerative tourism.
No. Thank you, Martin. I would like to invite Saeed to explain as well how Rural Madinah is activating the youth and the local people and Saudi people, because if they are not included into this project, at the end of the day, we will not be able to be sustainable. So can you elaborate it, please?
Yeah, to achieve this sustainability goal or even the platinum for the master plan and our superstructure by the mean, we are working as a gold certification for the all superstructure as well. So to achieve this, we have different aspects of sustainability. When we start about social sustainability direction, it is in our core element, as a core element of our development, starting from the early stages of design. And as example, we are working on the master plan is built on Al-Ahwash. Al-Ahwash is a traditional Madinah style for living and people movement within well-connected areas. And even the color scheme of the building, of the facade itself, it is inspired from the 130 colors of the dates that in Saudi Arabia, and the Madinah is famous with some dates as well, as you know. Also, if you look about we have created a unique theming for building color grading. It's called, we call it from earthy to ethereal. So from the west area, far from Haram, this is a little warmer coloring, and moving to more brightness to the Haram itself. So respecting the Haram and the situation of the area itself. So the creating authentic mashrabiyya of the Islamic architecture itself, we are creating a new language for modern mashrabiyya. We are not using the traditional as traditional, but we created a new language for architecture. All of this coming in the social sustainability during the design itself from start. About the economic sustainability, we are fostering the economic of Madinah itself. We are creating 93,000 direct and indirect jobs. This also helps the economic of Madinah itself. And we are helping encouraging the SMEs, especially in the traditional crafts as well. This is also, we have a big role in fostering the economy of Madinah. You know, the economy of Madinah is building mainly on the hospitality, There is not a lot of manufacturing and business there. But so we have this mandate to take care of that and to change the previous image of the experience of the visitors. We are changing the experience of the visitor to something that is to higher standard as well. When we talk about environmental, we are applying most of the environmental sustainability aspects from district cooling, water recycling, economy, the water consumption, water consumption optimization as well, power, and water reuse. So all of the aspects of the sustainability for environmental, we are considering this in our development as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Saeed.
And specifically on the social point of view in Aseer, we have a very ambitious socio-demographic objective, which is to reverse the trend at the moment, which is to lose population to other cities in Saudi where there are better jobs. We're losing brains. We have incredibly talented brains who are in leadership position in Riyadh, in Jeddah, and other side of the country. We are using layer, intersecting with other economic sectors, starting from agriculture, going to sport, going to education, and hospitality, tourism, of course. Tourism is the base. To reverse this trend, keep the brain, and in turn attract new numbers to our place.
You, because that is a trend, that is not the problem of Saudi Arabia or Aseer region, it's a problem that happens globally in Europe. The small towns and the rural regions are kind of shifting into the city, and I think that is one of the most important things in terms of sustainability, to try to attach people to the land. And
exactly, and we are having a very specific strategy to do so. First of all, a medium-sized city like the metropolitan area of Abu and Kamis and Rufaida is 1 million inhabitants. We are using tourism to build a better quality of life on all aspects. In particular, we are very ambitious on becoming the most walkable city in KSA. We are blessed with a weather that naturally promotes walkability, and we are branding walkability as the new luxury for KSA cities.
We'll talk about that in a second.
So this will not only be sustainable on the ecological and environmental point of view, because of course, if we reduce the utilization of car, like the air will be cleaner and there will be a lot of gaining. But even in real estate terms, the impact that walkability can make on land values can go up to 10%.
We'll talk about that in a second. Alberto, you want to add something in terms of the social and economics, because your case is completely different of the others? And
we follow, we have sort of ESG sort of guidelines that we've developed even in collaboration with PIF, so we have sort of very ambitious targets. We're building a community, so there's a lot of interaction and feedback that we receive constantly with actually the community that we create, and see how we can improve this. We are very much also like an incubator of for fostering sort of new businesses. businesses and new ventures.
Totally.
So, you know, the fact that the PIF headquarters sits there is a really a magnet for lots of businesses who want to be there. PIF themselves, you know, they have developed an ecosystem where they launch and startups, etc. They always sit there. So there is really sort of a very vibrant and creative environment, and we get all the brains from ABBA working there as well. And
yes.
No, but because it's very important the role that all your companies and developments are doing, because most of the young population of Saudi Arabia, the students in the university, most probably the first job or workplace that they're going to be working is going to be the Red Sea, is going to be Aseer, is going to be KAF, and it's going to be rural Madinah, sorry. So that is very important.
It's very important. I mean, not only are they going to be the populations which work there for sure, but they are also going to be the core visitors as part of our tourism approach.
Yeah.
And every data points to the fact that a deciding factor in destination choice are the environmental credentials, the sustainability factors of the destination themselves. People are now positively choosing destinations which support sustainability. And that's why Red Sea Global and our projects at Red Sea and both the Mala are so attractive to them, because we have a very good story. Not only do we have amazing assets to look at, to interact with, unbelievable diving and water sports facilities, outstanding corals, etc. But beyond that, to actually be part of a program to protect, restore and enhance them makes people feel good about coming to our locations. We're already seeing people traveling from over 20 countries in the world. We have 650 flights already coming into the Red Sea airport, which is now open for business as well. So we're actually seeing the result of that aspiration and the delivering on that aspiration.
That's very good.
I think an interesting thing is that all of our projects we're really extremely lucky to be working in this country in this era, because we are really applying, is a country now is attracted as the best talents globally, and we can really apply all the lessons learned from all the mistakes that we see globally, right? Yes. So this is a unique advantage this country is there. It's also like you've been waiting, let's see everything. Okay, now we learn, let's go and start.
Completely. I would like to start talking a bit about the luxury and this idea that luxury has been shifting its meaning for the last, I would say, 10, 15 years, when we understood luxury as some sort of opulent in terms of material and spaces. Now it's shifting to more experiential. It's more important the experience than actually the physicality. So I would like to invite Alberto starting, or Dr. Francesca, because you spoke before.
Yeah.
But,
so thank you very much. Luxury, a little bit like sustainability, is one of these words that gets abused and stretched by everyone, right? So what's luxury? Luxury, what is left for luxury is a sort of time and convenience at the end of the day, right? So when we think of luxury, of course we're going to have luxurious residents that nobody can afford to buy with all the amazing views and super penthouses. But what we are creating, we look at luxury at the urban scale level, at the neighborhood level. So the fact that you can walk to work, that whatever you need is accessible. The idea of the 15-minute city is actually to give back time, which is the ultimate luxury, is the only sort of finite good that they were given. So we see luxury in the convenience of being able to access what you need when you have to, and also when you want to. So that's how we want to see luxury, not just in the product itself, that of course will be luxurious, but also in the way that it is set, connected, and integrated. The transportation connections that we have, you'll be able to take as soon the metro now is about to open, so we're connected with 3 metro lines. So we have the station with the highest, which is the most connected to the rest of the city. We have like an internal monorail that will be expanded, because also what the KAFD everyone knows is only really the beginning. We have sort of huge pieces of lands either side of KAFD that will also be now master planned and expanded. And all of this will be connected with additional facility, mixed-use developments, all connected through various micromobility solutions. So the fact that you really need to drive, or really when is your choice, then even driving can become a pleasure, because you don't drive because you have to, you will drive because you want to, when you decide to go somewhere else outside of KAFD.
No, thank you. I think that is very important, this idea of live, work, and play. together, and you are achieving that kind of level of luxury in a different kind of environment that all the rest of the other projects are doing. So, Dr. Francesca.
Couldn't agree more with Alberto. Convenience and experience are the new luxury. What we're trying to do in ABBA metropolitan area is to scale up this notion of walkability to the entire area. It means to really change our current infrastructure, our current roads, into streets, to humanize them, to start building sidewalks, of course, but also to reverse this notion of fluid and free-flow traffic, which is really creating non-urbanity in Saudi cities now. So at the same time, we are not only making making better places, we are also making more sustainable the entire city through promoting density and stopping the sprawling of development, which comes with an entirely car-based society that we have. So this is a big change. I'm very happy to see it happening at master planning scale, at district scale, which is what we're doing, and I'm very happy that we're all aligned. But the next level of challenge is it's scaling it up to make it really the backbone of the city, and this is what we're trying to pilot there up in the mountain, and then we hope to export this model more and more.
No, I think at the end is also to create a different relationship with nature. I mean, I think all of us, we are a slave of the phone and this idea that we are in this kind of super speed mode, and to have a pause, and I think Aseer is trying to do that, and reconnect you, and in some way you guys as well. Like,
yeah, sure.
So can you expand more into that?
Yeah,
please?
I mean, you put it perfectly in your introduction, and it's been repeated, so I'll say it one more time, is that luxury for us is about the experience, not necessarily the indulgence of the assets. People now are selecting destinations because time is precious.
Time is, yeah.
And you want to spend time in our resorts because we are developing what we call barefoot luxury, where actually less is more, where the simplicity, the reconnection with nature. And what nature do we have to connect with? It's unbelievable. Our migrating bird patterns coincide directly over our site. So if you're a bird watcher, you are amazed by the species of birds that we have. If you like swimming, if you like walking, if you like the ability to actually understand our star system at night, where our zero light policy at night means that you have a better view of stargazing than anywhere else in the world. So those sorts of experiences where you can only connect and reconnect with nature in a relaxed, chilled out, non-opulent way,
exactly,
is how we are addressing luxury. It's all through experience.
Yeah, completely.
It's interesting because walkability is, in the luxury for us is the convenience, the accessibility. Well, you know, in your case, it's more like the experience, no? The connection with nature, because, you know, in your case, is the environment is actually what you want to experience as well, right? In my case, it's more the convenience and the speed of action. In your case, it's actually the experience of walking. But still, walking becomes sort of central in all our sort of experiences and projects.
Yeah, we have an unbelievable coastal climate here, and it's 32 degrees pretty all year round. That is in direct contrast for most of the rest of the planet. So people can come here with satisfaction and guarantee that they have the ability to dress more casually, to interact with family and friends, and really relax and be at one with nature. And what nature do we have to be at one with? It's incredible.
To go back a little bit on time and to be again, almost in a private relationship with nature that we lost somehow in this world. Saeed, about
the nature, from the discussions, the nature of the project itself is affecting the definition of luxury and the sustainability measures. As example, Aseer and Ritz are outside the cities in a greenfield area with very touched to the environment in the sea and the green spaces and forest mountains. while Royal Madinah and KAFD in the middle of the city with high density development. So the challenges here are totally different. For Royal Madinah, as example, the definition of luxury, because we are a mostly hospitality project, people think that it's related only to the hotel stars rating, luxury 5-star, 5+, 4, 3. Yes, this is okay, part of the amenities that's being provided to the guests within the hotel itself. But in our design, even for the 3-star, even for the 2-star hotels, we need to ensure that the guest experience is high. This is luxury guest experience. This is what we're looking for. And as a master plan in this crowded area, which is in the seasons are very tough to be there, we have ensured the walking experience to be very flexible and a very good environmental places, shading elements, mists here and there. So with a good, almost full separation between the people and the car movement and the buses, like what's happening now in Madinah. It is a mess in the old central Madinah. Now we are changing this image totally in our project. So the luxury is the luxury of the quality of the experience of the people.
Yeah, talking about the experience and the luxury, also talking about rural Al Madinah, is part of the luxury as well, or true authentic experience, is to be able to recognize some sort of kind of cultural language and something that becomes from, or something that is done properly and have some sort of kind of respect for the context. Madinah is a city that has many years of history, and therefore there is a responsibility in terms of sustainability and also luxury to offer an experience that is authentic in the place.
Exactly.
And I think that is a very strong and very important point as well. This idea of authenticity, rather than kind of imposing to the terrain and to the places things that don't belong to. And I think that is a very, very important point. I would like to touch also this idea of luxury, and we didn't discuss that before, but it's about health. And because I know you guys and Red Sea Global, you are doing a lot of things that the ultimate frontier is about time, is how you gain health, anti-aging. And I think Aseer, you will be doing as well things like that. How do you see that as an ultimate barrier and frontier of luxury? If you can live longer and better, that is the ultimate luxury. So
health is wealth.
So,
indeed. Well, certainly the whole of the Amala premise as a destination is all about wellness. We have secured a number of operators who will extend, and it's just incredible the range of wellness offerings that Amala will provide to its visitors, underpinned by this regenerative tourism. So yes, you're right. I mean, health and wealth are the new link, along with experience as being critical to the success of destinations now.
Yeah. You want to add something on that aspect? No, you, Francesca.
No, I'm absolutely an advocate of getting out of our cars and leave the nature and the city. In Aseer, actually, we don't only have nature. This is the thing. We have a city which is integrated with nature. So walking at all scale, long distances, not only in a neighborhood, connecting the full city. If you want, you can walk. If you want to cycle, you can cycle. If you want to jog, you can jog. It becomes kind of a sport boulevard extended to the scale of a full city. And this, for me, is the new frontier of luxury for hospitality, because we have an incredible tourism offer, but also to elevate the quality of life of the people of Aseer and their culture.
Yeah, totally. No, it's absolutely fantastic to see four completely different people, four completely different projects, but it seems that all of us were talking about the same. Sustainability and luxury is almost like going back like the way our grandfathers and grandmothers were living, and some sort of kind of slow down a bit, walk more to buy the bread and take the bicycle and get engaged with socially and culturally with your neighborhood. And I think that type of life is almost what I can see and read from the explanation that you're trying to do. And I think that is...
Absolutely. I think the invitation is there to anyone here or across the world now, is that we are open for business. You can come and judge and see this in action for yourself. As I said, we have four resorts open already, another one by the end of this year. And next year, even more ambitious plans to open 8 resorts within Imala, the wellness destination, and 11 resorts on our island called Shura. This is a kind of game-changing step change in regenerative tourism. But the real proof is come and see it. Come and enjoy it. Bring your family and friends, and you will see a different kind of tourism, underpinned by exceptional experiences, welcomed with the hospitality of a truly genuine Saudi welcome, from staff trained by us, from the youth of Saudi today, as a front door to the country and to the region. There could not be a better advocate for the transition of the country towards a hospitality industry.
Can you be specific, because you said that you have 4 operating, already working resorts or hotels?
Yes.
Can you mention the 4 of them so everyone gets fully aware?
Yeah, I mean, within Red Sea, we obviously have Ritz Reserve and Regis already open, Six Senses, which are obviously luxury brands, but all of them, the architecture and the companies which we have engaged to produce the designs for these are world-class designers. They are inspirational designs, but in themselves, they're very respectful of the DNA of the Red Sea. And they have all been designed to be spectacular in their own right, to give you a unique backdrop, but they are kind of a canvas upon which you paint your life and your visit there. So they complement and supplement the experience, but in a kind of quiet way. Even though some of the architecture is quite exuberant, it's not in itself why you would go there. You go there for the experiences that you can gain.
We are running out a bit of time. I just would like to just a close remark from each of you guys as a kind of try to close the panel. Saeed, please.
Just a continuation to the discussion that we are not limited only to the design stage. Now we are going to the construction stage. There is a lot of sustainability and environmental requirements due to the, especially in the city, like the dust control, air quality, during construction and even during the operation itself, the minimizing the waste and using green housekeeping for the hotels itself. And in addition to that, we are working actually to build a framework. We are working to build a framework dedicated for Madinah that goes beyond the traditional ESG matrices. This will be tailored from our challenges and opportunities and foster our commitment to the vision of 2030 and the initiative for Green Madinah as within the Green Saudi itself in the future.
Thank you. Alberto, 30-second closing remark.
Thank you. Now, just sort of reflecting also what you said before, like, when you were mentioning, like, going back to the time of our grandparents. It's almost like a lecture. We want to go back in time without losing any of the convenience of the present and the future, right? So we want to create a sense of community. You know, sometimes we spend a lot of money to go on holiday in little villages, and then we realize that we're very envious of the postman that every day comes and there's a coffee in a little bar, and he says, this guy earns very little money and he's having this perfect life. And then, you know, and I spend, you know, God knows how much to be here for 3 days. So, you know, I think we're all trying to recreate this sense of walkability, community, convenience, in a way that somehow doesn't take away all, you know, the Wi-Fi and the other things that we're addicted to.
Thank you, Alberto. Francesca, just a closing remark.
We have, as a country and as a region in Aseer, a long, an exciting and big challenge of change ahead of us. And I'm keen to speak and attract all the visionary consultants, investors, and developers who want to embrace this dream of change. Come and make it happen.
Thank you.
We'll send you some brains back.
Martin, you're
it'd be
closing.
remiss of me not to mention our latest opening, which is the first resort called Shebara, which is owned and operated by Red Sea Global.
MashaAllah.
It's a truly unique architectural response, a series of stainless steel orbs which appear to hover above the water, and the connection that you have as a guest, the privacy, sense of simple barefoot luxury, and the connection with the water and the corals beyond is truly unique, and I urge you to experience that as soon as you possibly can.
And bookings are open.
And bookings are open.
Bookings are open.
Thank you, all of you, Saeed, Alberto, Francesca, and Martin. Really appreciate it. Thank you a lot.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.